Namaste guys and welcome to the new session. So today in this video we are going to learn about some basic commands and we are going to know how we can print our output inside our terminal and how we can take input from our keyboard to our program. So let's understand one by one. Every basic program, it has two types of functionalities. First one is input operation and second one is output operation. So to provide input to our program, we are going to get help of our keyboard to get our data to our program. And for second operation, which is our output operation, and for that operation, we are going to get help of our terminal where we can see and monitor the output. Now, if you remember in our programming section, we have used one preprocessor directive, which is include stdio dot. Now this stdio, it is a standard library file which contains many type of functionalities. In this library there are many functions available. In between those many functions we are going to take help of two functions to get our input and to project our output to our terminal. The first function is printf function and our second function is scanf. So now printf function, it is going to help us to print the output to our terminal, and the scanf function, it is going to give us access to our keyboard. So using these two functions we are going to take input and we are going to provide one output to our user. Now in our programming section we are going to get help of these functions while writing our code. So let's understand them one by one. So printf, it is a function available in our standard library which can perform a string printing operation on our terminal. So to use our printf function, we are going to write this command, and after writing our printf, we are going to mention one brace. After that, our double quote mark, and inside this double quote, we can represent our string. So if I want to print hello world, so basically I'm going to do hello world. After that, I am going to end it with our semicolon. So please don't forget always to write a semicolon after each and every command. Now, as you can see here, after writing this statement, our terminal, it is going to print a hello world. Now, if I try to print different string, then also it is possible. So you can write printf, and after that you can mention your other string. But don't forget to mention these double quotes. By putting these double quotes, we are informing our compiler to print these lines in between these two double quotes. Now, using this printf statement, we can also print numbers. We can also print any type of symbols. We can also print any characters we want. So let's see the use of this printf statement in our program. So now we have seen the printf statement syntax. Now let's use it in our program. So I'm going to create one new program. So at here you need to create one new file. So click on that file icon, and after that I'm going to write our program name, print scan program. So after pressing enter, it will create one new page for you. So here we are going to write our program. Now first you are going to write our preprocessor directive, which is our hash include. After that you are going to write our standard library name, which is our header file stdio.h. So after that I'm going to create our main section. So int main. Now here let's write our printf statement command. So after printf, as I've told you, I'm going to take help of two double quotes. So after taking the help of two double quotes, let's say I'm going to print hello world. And after this printf statement, I am going to place our semicolon. So now after writing this program, so instead of clicking on run code, I am going to show you a new way or a standard way how we can take output from our program. So here simply you are going to write in our terminal section, click here, and after clicking here you are going to write gcc space and your program name print scan, and after that our extension, which is our .c. So after writing this statement, click enter. Now after this you are going to write one another statement ./a.exe. If you have a Linux system, you can take a extension .out. We have Windows, so we are going to use .exe. So after clicking enter, you will encounter our output. So now you can see here we have our hello world. Now let's write another string. So now if I write here, let's say root module. So after writing root module, what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the same arguments. Let's say gcc print scan.c, our file name, and next our statement ./a.exe. So as you can, so I have forgot to save the program. So Control S, and then I'm going to get these two commands. So as you can see here, we have printed root module successfully. Now if you want to print any variable value, then what you are going to do? So let's declare our variable. So please remember, you are going to declare variables at first. As a beginner, you need to understand this point. So I'm going to declare one variable. So let's say int a, and inside this variable I'm going to store our 55 number. So now our int a, it has 55 number. So how we can print this output? So now in this statement, so let's remove this string, and I'm going to write one string. So let's write number is, and our equal operator, and after these double quotes you are going to place one comma, and you are going to mention your variable name. So with this format, you can print your variable, and after this, you are going to take help of one format specifier, which is our %d, because we are prompting our number, which is a integer type. So we are going to use %d as our format specifier. After this double quote, you are going to place your variable name. So this statement is going to get number which is available inside our a, and it is going to place that number inside this %d position. So if I print this output, it is going to show number is, and our operator, and our number in the place of our %d. So let's save this program. Control S, and after saving this program, I am going to write same statements. So after placing enter, you can encounter, as we have seen here, number is 55. So this is how you can print any number using your printf. So there are different types of format specifier. In this case, we are using integer number. So I have used our integer format specifier to print our integer numbers. Now we have successfully seen how our printf statement work. Now let's focus on the scanf. So as you can see here, to get input from our user, we are going to use our scanf function. Now inside this scanf function, we are going to put two braces. Now in between these double braces, as we have seen in our printf function, we are going to use double quote, and inside these double quotes, if I want to get only a number, so to get an integer from our input, we are going to mention one format specifier which tells our compiler to take only inputs as a integer. So we are going to give one format specifier which is our %d. So after that, I am going to add our double quote. So after adding our double quote, I am going to give a comma, and after that I am going to mention our variable location. So to represent any memory location, please note that we are going to use our ampersand. So this ampersand tells our compiler, so put this data or put this integer data into our variable section. So I'm going to give a name of our variable. Let's say I'm going to declare a num variable, and I'm going to store a number inside that num variable. Then I'm going to mention the num variable name after our ampersand operator. So this is how you have to write arguments in between your scanf function, and after the scanf I'm going to mention our semicolon. So what this line is going to do, it is going to take only number as an input inside our %d. After that, it is going to store that %d number inside our variable num, or to our memory location of where the variable is present in our memory. So this is how this scanf statement work. So let's see it in our program. Now previously we have seen how we can use our printf statement. Now let's take input from our user. So in this case, we have stored our input in our a variable. Now if I want to take this from the user, what I'm going to do? So let's say I declare variable int e. So after that, you need to write one command which is our scanf syntax. So let's say scanf and our double braces. So inside these double braces, we are going to use double quotes and then our format specifier. So after using our format specifier, after these double quotes, place comma and our ampersand operator, which represents our memory location, and our variable name, which is our a. So using this format specifier, we are telling our compiler, take this input at this place of %d and store it inside our memory location wherever a variable is allocated. So after that, place semicolon. We haven't stored any number inside our a variable. So let's take input from our user. So Control S to save our program. And in this terminal section, write the same commands each time plus gcc print scan, which is our file name, and then our executable command. So as you can see here, it is giving us a space to write our input. So let's say I write 47. So after 47, I'm going to place enter. So as you can see here, number is 47. So this is how you can use scanf and your printf to take input from our user and to provide output to our user. So now let's take two input from our user. So how we can take two inputs from our user using same scanf statement. So let's declare another variable. Let's say int b. So our integer, it is a data type which we are using, and our b is a variable name. So inside this, what you have to do, in the format specifier space, you are going to write %d space another %d. So using this format, so let me write another memory location. So after that ampersand a, you can write one comma and write another ampersand and our b variable name. So we have completed our scanf statement. Now to print that output, we are using only one variable. Now in this place, I am going to write another variable. Let's say your number is %d and then and our another %d, which is our format specifier for integers. And here after a, I'm going to write one comma and our b. So in this case, what we are telling, so in the place of %d, put data from our variable a, and in the second %d, put data from our variable b. So let's save this program. Now in the terminal, I'm going to write these both command gcc print scan.c, then enter, and after that you are going to write ./a.exe. So after writing, if you place enter, it will is asking us for input. So let's write 55 and hit space, and our second input, let's write 85. So if I click enter, as you can see, it is printing 55 and 85 as we have prompted in our printf statement. So now this is how you can take two inputs from user, or if you write the same statement, let's say, and I'm going to change the variable name b. So you can use two statements to take input differently. So this is also possible case. So you can also write here to tell our user printf and our input string. Let's say I'm going to tell our user, so enter two inputs, and I'm going to represent operator and our semicolon. So we are telling our user to place two inputs. Now let's write our first command, which is gcc print scan.c. After enter, I'm going to give our second input. Now here, as you can see, it is prompting our enter two inputs, and after that we need to provide our first input. Let's say 45. I'm going to place enter. So at the next time, it is going to ask us for second input. Let's say 85. So as you can see here, if I press enter, I'm going to get both of these input. So 45 and then our 85. So this is how you can use two scanf functions to get input differently, or else you can introduce inside one only one scanf function to get input in our scanf. Our scanf function, we have used %d as a format specifier. So there are different types of format specifier which we can use in our scanf function or in our printf function. So let's understand them one by one. So format specifier, they are nothing but they are the commands which telling our compiler to get a certain type of data as an input or to present a certain type of data as a output. Now this percentage %d is nothing but it is used to represent all signed decimal number. So signed decimal number means all positive numbers and all negative numbers. So with help of our percentage %d, we can tell our compiler to get the only signed decimal numbers or to print a signed decimal numbers, which is our integers. Now for our floating numbers, we are going to use percentage %f. To get input as a floating number or to show output as a floating number, we are going to use our percentage %f. So it is used for floating point number. Now let's understand the next one. So now to get a single character, so please focus on this line. To get a single character, I am going to use percentage %c. So percentage %c going to get us a single character as an input, or we can represent using our percentage %c as a output. So we are going to use this percentage %d for our input single character and output single character. So now let's understand the third one. If you want to print only unsigned integers, which means only positive integers, then you can use percentage %u. So using our percentage %u, we can get only positive integers or unsigned decimal numbers. So there are many types of format specifiers, but for now we are going to understand only 4 of the format specifier. So later in our future sections, I am going to make a specific video on format specifier and which type of format specifier we can use for each uses. Let's say if I want to take character in our first variable, so I'm going to use our percentage %c, and let's say we are going to change our data type, let's say char. Now inside our character I'm going to take one character, and in our second position I'm going to take one input. And here also we need to make changes while printing our output. Let's say percentage %c. So our complete program is complete. So in this first variable I'm going to take one character, and this first place I'm going to print one character. Now if I execute this program, let's say I'm going to write our character y, and after pressing enter I'm going to give our number 45. So if I press enter, as you can see, we are getting our character y and we are getting our number. So please do remember that point. If you are printing a character, we are going to use percentage %c, and if I am printing a number, I am going to use percentage %d. So these are the two format specifiers. For character I am going to use percentage %c, and for number I am going to use percentage %d. So there are many types of format specifier. So let's understand them one by one. So now if I want to take only positive number, so let's get another variable, let's say integer, and I'm going to name that integer c and our semicolon. So after this I'm going to, let's change this prompt, let's say 3, and now here I'm going to use another scanf function. Now here at the format specifier space I'm going to use our percentage %u, which represents only unsigned numbers. So let's mention our variable name. So let's write our memory location, which is c. Now place semicolon. So in this prompt we can use another printf statement. Also we can mention in this statement only. So let's say percentage %d and positive and above another. So use the same format specifier in this place. So now if I mention our another variable name, let's say c. So after saving this program, I'm going to run this program. So here we have made one mistake. Please make sure you write all syntax correctly. Now write this comma. Now let's save this program again. Now let's execute this program. So as you can see, it is asking for input. So first we are giving our character y, then place enter. If I give our number, so here we are taking input as a positive numbers. So let's say if I write a -45, so as you can see here, it is taking only positive numbers, but we have given a negative number. Now here you can see it is giving a positive number. So how it is converting this positive number? So this concept is based on range. So in our future section, there will be a topic what is a range and how we can use these ranges to represent our output. Now if I execute this program again, so now as you can see, let's me give our character y, or let me try another character, let's say z, and we are going to give a number 45, and here let's write 78. So as you can see, it is printing our positive number 78. So if you try to give it a negative number, it is going to convert that number into a positive number, which will be based on our ranges. So we are going to understand these ranges later in our videos. So these are the few rules which you need to understand. So our first rule is the number of format specifiers in the format string must match the number of arguments passed to the printf or scanf. So what does this mean? If I take use scanf and if I write double quote and our percentage d and space and then our percentage d, and if I give two memory location, let's understand, if I store our first percentage d inside our a variable and our second percentage d inside our b variable. So using this argument, I can take two inputs and we are going to store two inputs inside our one memory location. So now with this logic, if I give these two numbers of format specifiers, means while taking our input, a user should type two inputs, means first then space and our second input. If a user types in terminal only one input, means it is going to store inside only one variable, and for the next operation, if a user doesn't type any input, means it is going to lag that input and we are going to predict one error inside our program. So you need to remember this point, how many types of format specifiers or how many format specifier, if you give in an argument, you need to match the same number of input which you give in our terminal. Or in our printf section, let's type, if I write printf and if I want to print one output, let's say inside our string part, if I write percentage d and if I mention one variable name, let's say our a variable. Now if this statement is true, means a number which is stored inside our a variable, it is going to present at this place where we have written our format specifier. So now if I take and if I write 2% d, but if I write only one variable and if I forget to write this variable, so now what is going to happen? Now this variable or this argument going to represent as a error, because we are providing two arguments but only we are providing only one variable, so it could not print these both value. So it consider this percentage d as a error argument, so we are going to encounter one error. Now let's understand the second rule. You need to use addresses of operator and to pass the memory address of variables when using scanf to read input and store it. Now as I told you, inside our scanf function, if I use percentage d and if you write only a, what it is going to do? It is going to throw us a error, because we have not mentioned where we have to put our data at what memory location. So now to represent a memory location, we are going to take help of our ampersand operator, which is our AND operator. So if I write this same statement, scanf and our percentage d and our AND operator to represent memory location where our a variable is allocating. So this is how you need to remember this point. Whenever you are going to take input from a user, you are going to take help of our ampersand operator. So our third rule is using incorrect format specifier can lead to unexpected behavior or errors. So this is how you need to remember all the three rules while you are taking help of your printf and scanf. Now I'm going to give you a few of the tasks to complete. So let's see what are the tasks. So your first task is write a program to perform addition operation between two numbers and then take both the input from user and print the output. So you need to take two numbers as an input and you are going to perform addition between those two variables and then you are going to print that output using our printf statement to our terminal. So first you are going to take two inputs using our format specifier %d, and after that you are going to store those input inside one variable. Means you are going to create one variable first and then you are going to use that variable inside our scanf function. So first declare your variables, then use our scanf function and you are going to mention that variable name, let's say a, and here also you are going to take another variable and let's say b. So now you are going to get another variable, you are going to initiate that variable at the first line, and after that you are going to mention that variable. Let's say I create a result named variable, and inside here you are going to do the operation a plus b, and after you get our result, use our printf function, and using our printf function you are going to print the value which our result has stored. So let's move on to our next program. Write a program to do subtraction operation between two floating points numbers. So now here you are not going to use %d, you are going to use %f to get our input from our user. So use %f and create two floating variables, not our integer variables. So write our float keyword and then mention our variable names. So after creating two of such variables, use them in our scanf function and then perform the same operation but while using our subtractor operator. So after doing this, use same printf function and you can print that output. So let's understand what is our third program. Write a program to print two characters and take both input from our user. So you are going to take two characters as an input using our %c format specifier for characters or for single characters, and then you are going to print those same characters to using our printf statement onto the terminal. So please do these three tasks while coming to our next video, and if you want three of these videos last our three sections video notes, please go into our description section. There you will find one link where I have stored our handwritten notes, and please make use of these notes, and please make sure you follow this series and click on our like button, and please subscribe to the channel. And if you encounter any kind of problem, please don't forget to mention those problems inside our comment section. I will surely respond.